Hey, this is Luke from Headfulness, and this is day one of the No Caffeine Challenge, the 30-day experiment where I cut caffeine out of my diet to see if it has any benefit in reducing anxiety. So if you watch day zero, you'll know that I had 2 cups of coffee yesterday, and I was feeling pretty tense. And so yesterday afternoon, I started thinking, I was like, I should cut out caffeine for like 7 days and see how I feel. I was like, you know what, why don't you just go a full 30 days and we'll do this for Headfulness, and I'll try to be scientific about it, and we'll leave the challenge with some real conclusions about whether whether caffeine is making anxiety worse or not. And so to be as scientific as possible, I thought of 2 metrics that I'm going to track over the days to see the progress. And so the 2 metrics I thought of are difficulty concentrating and muscle tension. And if I were to guess what my metrics were yesterday, based on how I remember feeling, I think that my difficulty concentrating was very high. It was like a 7 or an 8. And my muscle tension was pretty high as well, probably like a 5 or a 6. And after 1 day of not drinking any coffee, I think it's been like 26 hours since I had my last cup of coffee, I'm feeling a lot better. I had a much easier time concentrating today. I'd say that it was probably, if yesterday was a 7 or 8, today's like a 5 or a 6. We'll go with a 6, just to aim high. And the muscle tension is a little lower as well. If yesterday was a 6, I'd say today is a 5. And so I'm getting some pretty quick benefits out of cutting out caffeine. I do have a little bit of a headache today, but that was kind of expected. I think once I get past the first couple days, that'll probably go away on its own. The one thing that I want you to take away from this challenge is that you can always analyze your behaviors and figure out what you can change to reduce your anxiety. I've probably been having a cup of coffee every day for years now, and I never really thought about, how much of an impact is this having on my physiology. On this channel, I talk a lot about what are your thinking patterns that are causing your anxiety, and that's like what my whole free anxiety relief course is about. I'll put a link to that down below if you're interested. But lately, I've been more interested in what are the physiological factors that are causing anxiety, and specifically, what are the physiological factors that we have control of? And the ones that I know of right now are your breathing and your diet, and that's about it. So I wanted to start off with this experiment. We're cutting out caffeine. I'm seeing a benefit as soon as day 1. So we'll see how this goes. Check out in the description for a link to day 2, and let's all try to have a little more headfulness.